We're just going
Hello,
to film
world.
here. Hi, everyone.
How you doing?
Hello. I'm here with Obadiah.
Yep, Obadiah.
Obadiah, and I'm Rainbow Jones. And we just met at this
Strange Brew.
Strange Brew in Austin, where I've been for the past 2 weeks now. And I was actually here doing a Reiki level 1 training. And I was getting coffee afterwards, and Obadiah came up to me and was drawn to my energy, and he asked me about healing. And then he invited me to have a cup of coffee with him, and we've been sitting and talking now for the past few hours.
Like time has just slipped away.
Yeah, and I've sent him some Reiki love, and
I received it.
Yeah, and we have an important message that we're here to deliver to this world, and I feel really blessed to have met Obadiah today.
I feel blessed to have met Rainbow as well.
Yeah, and there are some things that are happening right now on this planet that he and I are both tapped into. And
heavy duty things.
Yeah, heavy duty things.
Spiritual.
Yeah, extremely spiritual. There are some huge shifts that are happening right now, and this conversation was just moving so intensely and so magically that we wanted to share it with people, because we hope that this message will be able to open your heart and allow you to recognize that you are truly unconditional love.
Open your eyes.
Open your eyes to see. And Obadiah and me have a lot in common. We both felt a call from Spirit that told us that we were meant to walk away from the material world, and that we were meant to blindly walk in faith. And for the past 5 months, I have been quote-unquote homeless, and have been living from my car, traveling, and spreading love unconditionally to anyone who shows up.
So you're living proof that you can be homeless and still be an effective person in this world.
Absolutely. Homeless is a title that society created. A label, yeah, to put people inside of a box. Absolutely.
A very judgmental label.
Extremely judgmental, extremely heartless, and
conditional.
Yeah, conditional. It traps people, and we want to just inspire people to recognize that the only labels that we can allow ourselves to really transform us are the ones that we personify inside of our own world. So if someone tells me that I'm crazy, the only way that is going to affect my reality is if I take that into my world and internalize it.
And allow it to manifest.
Absolutely.
That's right. So if we take that seed in and allow it to be watered and allow it to sprout and take root, then the fruit that we bear is the direct end result of that little negative seed that we allowed to be planted at one time, right?
Absolutely.
So before we can reach anybody, we have to be able to get rid of all the negative seeds, which are very hard to do because they've been planted over lifetimes and generations of lies and deceit to get us to where we're at today. A world full of people that are blind, being led by the blind, believing lies that are not healthy, that are not productive, that are very unhealthy and destructive, because they don't know what else to base it on. And when we try to give them the truth to compare it to, it automatically looks like this person's crazy, because the truth actually seems insane to somebody who's believed so many lies.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we were just talking about how when we start to say these truths and these things that we know deep in our heart, like that this life isn't meant to be a struggle, that we're not crazy, that we have these gifts and these talents that we're meant to share with the world, recognizing those things and sharing that with others, we find that not everyone is receptive. And what I was telling Obadiah is that, well, we have all of these chemicals, fluoride, alcohol, nicotine, all of these chemicals that are designed to keep us in a state of numb. You're numb. You have no thought. You have no conscious. No connection. You're unable to connect with someone else. And in that lack of connection, we're not able to grow and learn from each other.
No communication.
And then people who are amazing and who are here to spread love and just share unconditional love with the world are not able to match with anyone else or find that support, because the people are so brainwashed right now into believing that anyone outside of society's quote-unquote normal way of being is insane.
Mm-hmm. So they try to tell us we're schizophrenic,
Yeah.
Unfit for society, bipolar, and in need of all this psychotropic medication that will help you deal with life. I think what it's meant to do is we can get you full of the Uncle Sam's medicine, and you won't give a damn if you're living a lie or living in a box.
Absolutely.
I think, or if nobody believes you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then we put people in these boxes. And then what happens? We've created a whole society of people who think that they're free, but they're living inside of their own prison. Their own home has become a prison. They have fear of following their dreams because they have this house that they have to pay for, which has become their prison.
It's confinement.
It is confinement.
It's incarceration at its finest, because you don't even see the razor wire or the bars. It's an illusion.
Absolutely. And the moment that we allow ourselves to step outside of that, the day that I decided I was no longer going to have a home because that was a confinement, I was trapped to pay all these bills when I know why I'm here and I know the gifts that I have to share with the world. And I was imprisoning myself into working these jobs that were not aligned with my truth, with why I'm here, and I was unable to deliver this.
Your purpose in life.
And the moment that I let go of that, let go of the prison that I created around myself and told myself that that was freedom, I truly became free.
Amen.
I truly became connected with amazing souls, with people who are here to spread love.
But the only thing that's sad is there's so few of us. I've felt lonely and miserable and disconnected for months because Rainbow's the first person I've connected with on this level. I was starting to think maybe I was insane. Maybe I was just living a pipe dream. Maybe I was just running from reality and creating my own chaos. When in reality, I haven't been connecting with other positive souls because I've had such a negative self-image that the choices I made were wrong and a mistake, and I should just be like everybody else. But I know in my heart that my true freedom came too when I walked away from everything. When I walked away from the pursuit of all this material stuff. I don't want to have a mortgage. I don't want to have a house. I don't want to have something I got to pay for. If God says go to California today, I want to be able to pack up and go.
Yeah.
I don't want to be restrained to, I can't. I got a mortgage. I got bills. I got kids. I got this. I got that. All these balls and chains that keep us down.
And I want to be really clear about something, because society has this idea that when you decide that you no longer want to have this home, this mortgage, this box, that you are lazy. But I want to tell you something, that living outside of that is the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. It takes strength, courage, fearlessness. It takes self-love and compassion to be different in a world that is programmed to be the same. So it's not lazy. It's actually the most empowering thing that we could ever do for ourselves, to take our freedom back.
Wow. I love this woman. That's amazing. I have not been able to put it into such a light. And thank you, Rainbow, because I've been starting to feel like maybe I was the one that was missing out because I wanted to be such an individual and non-conformist. An officer told me one time, your problem is you don't conform to the world the way everybody else does. I read a book somewhere that says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. How do we renew our minds? By brainwashing it from all these lies we've been taught all our lives. You got to get a college, you got to have an education, you got to get a mortgage, you got to get a home, you got to be like everybody else. Why? Everybody else is miserable.
Exactly.
How many of you out there could truly say that you work in your 2-3 jobs and paying your bills every week to pay your bills and your mortgage, and you're doing all this stuff, are really content, are really feeling fulfilled, are feeling like you have a purpose that's being reached? How many of y'all can actually say that you're living life to the fullest? I couldn't.
And I truthfully couldn't either, until about a year ago, when I dedicated my life to the truth that I know I am, and that is love, and that is a messenger of love.
Amen.
And that is someone that can transform the darkness and turn it into light. And we were joking, as you can see.
I'm all in black.
And I'm in white.
She's all in white. But yet we connected.
And we connected because everything is the yin-yang balance. And his dark energy that he was feeling because he's been mistreated by society, I was able to come in and transform that into light.
Amen. Because she's totally amazing. And to have an amazing woman of this caliber sitting next to me saying, you're amazing, you're doing good, you're doing right, follow your dreams. That in itself is uplifting and encouraging. And we all need rainbows in our life to let us know that the darkness is not the truth.
There's always a pot of gold at the other end.
I buy that.
Always. Always.
And no, I don't have a lot of answers. What's it all for? I don't know, but all I know is this. I was confined to the world. I was a contractor. I was pursuing all this worthless things. None of it ever brought contentment and fulfillment. But the day that I walked away from all that, and I got to see that I was truly confined by pursuing those things, that's when I first felt my first sense of freedom. And this is life. This is life to its fullest. No, I don't always have money to go do all these extravagant things. We're going and sitting by the river, taking my shoes off, breathing the fresh air of the morning, seeing the wildlife, connected with the wildlife, being able to hear the wildlife. That's where we lose people. They think we're crazy because you mean you hear the wildlife? Yes, it's all connected. I hear the wildlife communicating. I communicate with the birds. I communicate with the animals. I had a skunk come through camp. I used to feed it.
Yep.
Yes, we can communicate with everything around us if we stop being so distracted by all this white noise.
Yeah, and the problem is that we've built these monstrous cities, these cement huge cities that block all of this natural energy. Yeah. We're unable to receive the natural gifts that we are. And when we allow ourselves to step outside of that for a moment, I lived in Chicago for about 8 years of my life, and I lived right downtown, which is a huge metropolis. And I was living there through my darkness, and I was living there in the moments when I started to ascend into the light. And being there when I was in my coming out and opening up and understanding who I am and why I'm here was so challenging, because the chaos that's created by those buildings is so powerful that we don't even understand, that we're not able to even think clearly. The only things that we're able to understand when we're in those cities are the lies that those buildings spit at us.
Wow. And that makes sense, because all of those structures, they're not living.
No.
They're dead.
Yep.
All that cement, it's dead.
It's not real.
It's not real, and it's suffocating the earth. Every time you tear down an acre of trees, which are all individuals, which all have an identity, which all have a single purpose in this world, which is to feed us the oxygen that we need, to provide the homes for the birds and the other insects and stuff, we're destroying that. We are stripping the earth of the very life which it gives us. And when you're living in a stale environment that's suffocated, that's dead, that's non-living, that's non-animate, how can you receive the messages of the earth?
You can't.
When you're living in a, what would I call it, styrofoam environment? No, that's synthetic. Yes, when you're living in a synthetic environment, how can you absorb the organic messages of the world?
Absolutely. And people recognize this. Say you go on vacation. You go away for vacation and you go somewhere really beautiful and in nature.
Spend a weekend out in the mountains in the woods.
And you feel amazing. You feel invigorated. You have vitality and life, and you feel alive again. And then you return back to that prison that you created, those four walls that confine you, and you feel suffocated again. But yet you continue to allow yourself to live that way.
Because how many people work all week long? I just can't wait to go camping this weekend, get out in the woods. I just can't wait to get out of here and get away from it all. Well, why do you think you want to get away from it all? Because it's not where you belong.
Yeah. And we don't want a society filled with people that want to get away from their lives. We're not here to be struggling. We're not here to be miserable. We're here to love and enjoy and experience heaven.
And that's why, if you read Matthew, Jesus said, drop your nets and follow me. For my yoke is easy, my burden is light. What do you think? He had a castle to live in? He slept on the streets. He told everybody that birds have nests, the foxes have dens. I have no place to lay my head. He was homeless, but yet he was full of life. And he taught others how to embrace life and walk away from careers, families, homes, all this stuff that's confining you and keeping you bound to lies. Walk away from it all and experience life to its fullest.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Man,
and I know that it wasn't until I stripped myself of the material comforts that I thought were why I was here did I really truly begin to live my life.
Amen.
And allow myself moments like this where I had full intention of working today at this coffee shop, and I could have put my blinders up to Obadiah when he walked over to me, but that's not how I live my life anymore, because I'm not driven by material gain. I'm not driven by that. The work will be there when I'm done. It'll be there tomorrow. I'll get to it when I get to it. We're unlimited. I'm not limited by these 24 hours. I don't need to turn someone away because they're different from me or because I'm too busy to connect with them. If someone's coming into my world, I know that it's for a reason, and I'm meant to share with them in any way that I know how.
Amen. I like that.
Yeah.
And when we're so busy pursuing all these selfish things, material things, we cut ourselves off from the real connections that we're supposed to be making that are going to bring us life and vitality. How many times have we walked away from it because we're tunnel vision minded, single purpose minded?
Absolutely.
And it wasn't until I let myself go. Don't you think I had hopes and dreams and all that? I had all this stuff that I wanted to be and accomplish. But when I walked away from it to pursue the reality and truth, then I started seeing how I could be used in so many people's lives to make a difference in their lives. And that's what I said in my last video. I just want to make a difference in people's lives. And I can't make a difference in somebody's life if I'm so busy chasing my own.
Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely.
I can't be available. So I don't know what our purpose was for this is. I just hope that somebody out there will see it and go, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy. There's other people who think like me.
Yeah.
And
we're everywhere. We're all around. The light workers, we're here. And we are here to bring in more light to this world.
The light and the love.
That is why we're here. And we know that there are millions of us on this planet right now. And that
millions of us
we are not alone.
That are lost and unloved.
And if you are feeling like you are one of them, and you are feeling unloved, and you are feeling lost, and you are feeling unsupported, know that Obadiah and I are always here. Even if you don't see us, you can call on us and we'll be there with you. You can call on the angels, you can call on the heavens, and it will come to you.
However,
you are loved.
If you need something more tangible, connect with us over the internet. I'll be glad to speak with anybody.
How can people reach you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I suppose through Facebook or Facebook. Email me.
What's your email?
LRayLynch, LRayLynch 777 or look up Homeless Spit on Facebook. It's 2 words.
And you know what? I'll leave a comment. I'll leave a comment on the page when we post that for how you can connect to Obadiah and myself, as we're going to be staying in contact with each other. This is definitely not the last time that we will be coming into contact with each other, because Obadiah here is going to help people learn how to connect back to the nature realm when we recognize that we need to learn how to grow our own food again and
raise
all
our
of
own
that
food,
stuff.
be self-supportive, be independent from all HEBs, Walmarts, government institutions. Stop feeding our children all these chemicals and poisons that are killing them and stifling them and stunting their spiritual growth as well as physical. And just get back to nature and love and appreciation of nature and doing what we were called to do.
Yep. Absolutely.
Loving God and having time to love our family and nature. When you're taking care of your land and you're doing your vegetables as a family, you're weeding the garden as a family, you're feeding the herds as a family, you're taking care of your land and mending your stuff as a family, you don't have to just wish you had time for family.
Exactly.
You are there.
You are there.
And you're one unit, and you grow and love and prosper as a unit, not individuals. You know? Wow.
Yeah.
There's more to it than what I even thought sometimes.
Yeah, it keeps going. We're unlimited. We're infinite. And And there's so much more that we're about to start tapping into really soon.
I feel called out west. For all y'all that feel called out west and feel called to a different life and purpose, I'm headed out west. I'm going to be getting some land. I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm claiming it right now. I already know land's coming. Resources are coming. It's all coming, where there's going to be a place to retreat to.
Yes.
To get away from it all, to break free from the lies and the chemicals and the rat race and the pursuit of meaningless things. Because you can die with everything in the world and not have nothing.
Yep.
Or you can die with contentment and peace in your heart, knowing that you're at one with things and not have a material thing in the world and die with more than anybody has.
Yeah.
Peace.
Being in service to each other, knowing that you provided to this world. You didn't just come to this world and acquire a bunch of materials that you pass down to people who don't even want them.
Or that you ignored people or stepped on people or used people to get these things. And now nobody will show up for your funeral because everybody thinks you're a selfish asshole.
Yeah, and that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about for anyone, for no one. No one deserves that kind of
isolation.
Experience.
It creates isolation and loneliness, and it just feeds the fuel and the fire that this whole society was created to design, that you're an individual, you need us, you need this to be happy.
And a rude awakening is going to come through people because this planet is evolving, it's ascending. And if you're not ready to get on board with the message that we're delivering, that's beautiful. But there is no room for you on this new vibration.
You gotta catch the vibe, man. That's been something through my music. Catch the vibe.
The vibe.
You gotta catch the vibe of what the Spirit's doing. It's ascending us to a whole nother level of consciousness and awareness and usefulness and purpose. It's bringing us to what our creation was designed to do, and that's to love each other, be able to heal each other with the laying on of hands, and just love and touch and be content with what God's given us. The fruits, the vegetables, the land. The peace, the love. We don't have to have all these buildings and cars and fancy stuff to.
And if anything that this message that we're delivering right now can show to you is that we're all tapping into this. I'm not just saying these high vibrational things anymore as an educated person, as a spiritual healer who has dedicated my life to the teachings and studying it. We're all of us, no matter what we look like, no matter our age, no matter where we live, no matter what we do, no matter how we came into this world or what we've experienced, we are all experiencing a shift in consciousness. It is happening with or without you, so it's time to get on board with your life. Take your power back. It's time.
Take your power back because you have the power. The Bible even says, all these things that Christ did, you will do these things even greater. Jesus said that. These things, you will do these things even greater. Jesus said that. Yeah. He wouldn't have told you a lie if you believed the truth. He was the truth. He came to exemplify. He laid hands on people and delivered them from their demons. He spoke a word and things happened. We have the same power. We have the same ability. We're created in His image.
Yeah.
When you realize the power you have, when we realize the power we have, that's when life transformation becomes possible. Because when we realize that all these lies that we've been told, they don't fit.
No.
And it's hard. It's not easy because we got to take on a new coat. We got to fit a new pair of shoes. And sometimes it feels uncomfortable. Like, am I really walking in the right shoes? Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should just run back to Egypt like we did before. And that's why Jesus said, or God said, don't return to Egypt. I've delivered you from that bondage. The fine linens, the fine oils, the fine food, and all that security, it's a lie. Because you're really actually slaves to the king. And that's what they were. And they got out in the desert and they wanted to run back to Egypt. They said, we'd rather die by a pot of meat and be full than die hungry. Well.
You'll never die hungry if you know how to live with the land.
And God will provide for your
always, at all times, every single need. Every single need has been met. Every single need, if not that, every need is met. And if there is one thing that we can really share with people is that as long as you truly believe in your heart that all of your needs were met, they will always be met and miracles will show up. Things that were once perceived as magic, you'll start to realize that you are a magician and magic is real. it's real. You are capable of creating anything
and destroying
everything. Yeah, because we're the divine creator.
That's right.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand right now.
Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within you.
Right now. Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, so if this touched any of y'all in any way,
share the message.
Contact us and share the message. Let us know.
Spread the love. We are here for you, to support you. And we're here to support each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
You can look me up too on Facebook. I've got a new page called Homeless Spit, 2 words. It's a page on my Larry Lynch Facebook. My old name was Larry Lynch. Those of you who know me from my childhood, I'm Larry Lynch. Those of you who know me now, I'm Obadiah. And I'm walking in that calling too. I do worship Jesus. I worship Yah. Not just in my words.
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Rainbow. Oh, thank you.
You are beautiful.
And for y'all who've been following my page for a long time, you know me, Jessica Jones, but Spirit knows me as Rainbow. Spreading the rainbow light of love everywhere I go.
You've been reborn, Jessica.
Thank you.
The new calling.
Thank you. We really appreciate you taking the time to share with us in this space. The God in me worships, honors, and mirrors the God that isn't within you.
Amen.
Namaste, everyone. Light and love.
Peace out. God love you.